Motorsports Park. And we want to welcome everybody who's now joining us from Speed Channel as the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series race has just concluded. Congratulations to Ryan Newman on his first start and first win in the Truck Series. And, of course, a new sponsor, Camping World, for the Truck Series next year. And if in case you want to know, it is still Johnny Benson in the points lead by 31 over Ron Hornaday. Let's bring in our two compatriots here, Randy LaJoie, Rusty Wallace. We talked about how many cautions there were, 25 last year. It was like the 24 hours of Memphis at one point, I remember us talking about. Would you have liked to have been a fly in the driver's meeting with Joe Balish?
You know, I do believe Joe got up there and said, listen, guys, you know, Nationwide is an insurance company. They sponsor us. We don't need to wreck all these race cars just to get insurance, you know. So he says, you know, guys, just be calm. And remember, the last 4 of these events have gone green, white, checkered.
Well, and let's talk about the guys that are now going to be starting in the back and trying to work their way to the front through this could be possible disaster.
Well, you're talking about Carl Edwards and Clint Boyer now. Those two guys and David Rudeman, all those cats, they got to be careful getting to the front because, like you said, last year we had 25 cautions. And look, there are going to be some wrecks. These cats have got to be careful. They're going for a championship, so they can't screw up at all.
All right, let's also talk about what we should be watching for today. Rusty, what do you think?
I tell you what, there's 3 things to watch for in my eyes. Brakes, locking up the brakes, especially getting into turn 1 and turn 3. A lot of guys were sliding their brakes and crashing and everything like that. And another thing, this is a short track, so remember, the pit areas are very, very tight. We could see a problem right there. The other thing, turn 4, a lot of guys are really getting loose off of turn 4. That's going to be an action spot. Be watching that.
Other than that, it should be a very easy race for everybody out on the track. All right, it's time for us to get this show on the road. Let's go trackside and get the command to fire engines.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, what you've been waiting for, our command from Kroger store manager and breast cancer survivor Andrea Wilson and Kroger Delta Marketing Area President Mark Prestige.
In honor of all breast cancer survivors like Andrea, drivers, start your engine!
47 cars tried to qualify today. 43 will take the green flag. And, of course, there is David Rudeman, and he will be our in-race reporter. And we'll be talking to him when we come back to Memphis Motorsports Park as we'll get ready to go green. Race number 32 of the 2008 NASCAR Nationwide Series season. Oh, the celebration from last year was fun. NASCAR Nationwide Series presented by Carfax and in part by Volkswagen Routon, the only minivan in America with German engineering. And some of the crowd here at Memphis, as they are happy, as it has been a beautiful day. Across the top of your screen will be our Carfax starting grid. And you'll notice that the 18-year-old, third youngest driver ever to win the pole behind Joey Logano and Casey Atwood. There he is, James Boucher. And let's get a hold of our in-race reporter. As it is that man right there, the 99, David Rudeman. Rusty?
David Rudeman, Rusty Wallace, ESPN. You got us?
Yeah, go ahead, Rusty.
David, they had 25 cautions here last year. Man, that's got to be on your mind just a little bit. What can you do as a driver to keep yourself out of those wrecks? Because, man, you're coming from the back to the front.
Hey, you know, any kind of short track deal is, you know, I think it comes down to you got to rely on you got to try to use some common sense, and you got to rely on your spotter a lot. And you always got to. My dad always taught me to look 3 or 4 cars ahead when you're racing to see if you can check anything out happening. So you have to watch way ahead of us in the Airstream machine today, and hopefully repeat what we did last year and make Michael Waltrip proud. He's getting his 1,000th start this weekend, and we're pretty proud of that. So hopefully get a good finish for him today.
All right, David, we've got an ESPN mailbag question. It comes from Mike in Dallas, Texas. He wants to know, what is the hardest part of the double-duty season?
You know, there's probably a lot of things that are tough about it, you know, but I think the toughest part is just being in 2 different racetracks at 2 different times. You know, For instance, you go to, we did Pocono, and then we go to Montreal, where you're jumping back and forth. That could be a little bit tough, but for the most part, for me, I enjoy it personally. So it's a lot of fun, and I'm just blessed to be able to have the opportunity to do that on a weekly basis. I think I got the best job in the world.
All right, buddy, you have a great race today. Now, Randy's going to talk to your crew chief, Jerry Baxter.
Jerry, you got a copy? Okay, Jerry, the cars have a taper spacer this year. You guys won the event last year. 100 less horsepower. The car's still fast, got a cool paint job. What do you got for us?
Okay, obviously we're having a communication problem with Jerry, and we'll try and get that rectified for you. As the cars begin to pull off, we were under a bit of a delay because of the 89 of Morgan Shepherd. They are reporting a brake problem, and he is still in pit lane, and they are trying to get that car fixed so he can make it out. Morgan turned 67 this past Tuesday. He's our oldest in the field.